Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For those who have not subscribed to my channel, they can simply click on subscribe button. Today I will be talking in detail about the timelines under TR to PR pathway. Now these are the few streams I'll be covering on. The international graduate whosoever has applied from May 6th to May 10th, please note that IRCC is actively processing your application and they're trying to clear the backlog whatsoever they have till December 2021. Now that is a target. Not to forget about the winter vacations, what we are going to expect. So there would be uncertainty associated with that, and I will be covering for sure. Moving on to workers in Canada, for those who have applied from May 6th to July 23rd. Now, when I say July 23rd, it's very rare amount of cases. They've got the rollouts from IRCC in the month of July. So, yeah, it's between May 6th to July 23rd. And to be precise, under stream B, essential non-healthcare, I have few timelines. I'll be covering that. So that is from May 6th to July 13th. For those who have applied under French speaking category, they are getting the rollouts from May 6th to July, and there is no date associated with that. Now, there's also one more thing I wanted to update you. Not everybody, but whosoever has applied under healthcare in the month of August, they are able to link up their application. So just give it a shot if it's allowing you to do that. This is our first timeline. This candidate has applied at 1:20 p.m. May 6th and was able to link up the application on September 29th. Now, this is an interesting case. Now, this applicant actually got the rejection from IRCC. Although there was an update that medicals has been approved like under the portal, and he got the rejection letter from IRCC stating that the candidate is not graduate. This information, of course, was not true to his information. So candidate has raised the web form and provided all the supporting documents related to his degree and diploma. And that's how the file got reopened after 24 days from the date of request. Now, biometric request is received now, and it has to be submitted within 30 days time period, but candidate has already submitted that. So this is an update on November 9th. This is one of the unique timeline I just wanted to share with you guys. Now, another timeline is for essential non-healthcare. This candidate has applied on May 29th and BIL was on November 9th. The application was linked on November 9th itself, and AOR was received on November 10th. Now, usually you will get the ADR, and this was again, PCC was the only requisition made by IRCC. And when it was submitted, he was able to get the PR credentials and then ECOPR. Now, from the stage of PR credentials to ECOPR, few of you had questions, so it may varies from time to time. Usually it takes 4 or maybe like 10 business days. It can go up to 15 business days depending upon the scenario or the case or even the visa officer, how much time is going to invest in reviewing your application. This is another timeline for essential non-healthcare, July 12th. Now, biometrics were, of course, previously being done, and medicals exams were passed. So that exactly it showed under his portal on November 23rd, and the candidate was able to receive the AOR on November 24th. The very same day, he was able to link up the application and even got the PCC from India, like the requisition for PCC from India on November 24th. Another case is from Anil. Thank you so very much for sharing your timeline. Now, the candidate has applied, like Anil has applied under international graduate stream on May 6th at 9:30 Pacific time zone. AOR was received on September 2nd, and there was a biometric request that was also on September 2nd under his portal, so he submitted the very same day. There was no update until November 6th, and then he received the ADR for medicals, which again submitted by 17th of November. Then there was a portal credentials that was on November 19th itself, and now he's just waiting for the ECOPR. If you're watching this video, yeah, it again varies from application to application. Your application seems to be very smooth, so there shouldn't be more than, say, a week's time period in receiving the ECOPR. Now, he did mention that no PCC submitted, and he turned 18 year in Canada, so no PCC. Yeah, for those had confusion, if you have been out of Canada before 18 years, and when you came here, you turned 18, then you don't have to submit the PCC, just for the record. You need to have a PCC from every country wherever you have resided for more than 6 months after the age of 18. Moving on to another timeline is for international graduate. This candidate has applied on May 6th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time and was able to link up his application on October 31st. AOR was received a day later, that was on November 1st, and then there was ADR for IMM 5669 form, that's a very journal requirement, and then there was a requirement for transcript, diploma, and then Brazilian PCC, police clearance certificate. So it was on November 16. The documents were submitted within time limit, and then there was a portal request. He updated the photograph and his, address detail, and then he was able to get the ECOPR on November 25th. This is another timeline for international graduate applied on May 6th at 4:41 p.m. Eastern Time. He was able to link up the application without any AOR. Now, November 23rd. So there was no AOR, and as I said in my previous video also, AOR is one of the requirement, but not everybody would get the AOR. Like 5% of the cases I have seen so far, they are not able to get the AOR and reach to the stage of PR portal. So this can be a normal scenario. Now, system immediately asked for the use of reform, and status was like, medical were passed on November 22nd. As the case has mentioned, there was no AOR, no BIL has been received so far, and it's under his portal. This is another timeline at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, May 6th. This was August 12th when he was able to receive the AOR, and then there was an ADR. So in some of the cases, you might receive an ADR right away, and and you won't get the AOR. However, the normal scenario is that you apply for an application, you expect for the AOR. It is usually taking 4 to 6 months to be precise, and you're supposed to get the AOR and then would able to link up the application, or vice versa. It could be you are able to link up the application, then receive the AOR, and then you will get the ADR from IRCC. So usually it's IMM 5669 form, or the pay stubs if you have not completed in the past, or police clearance certificate, or even the educational documents if were not submitted during the time when you submitted, like you filed for the PR. Also, if the visa officer is skeptic and wanted to reconfirm the information, especially when you have dependent outside Canada, he may or she may ask you for the marriage document or supporting document for your spouse and for your kids. So just keep those in mind. That you need to be ready with the documents in case if IRCC asks you for any specific document and you're unable to fulfill the requirement or submit the required document within the deadline. Usually it's 7 days or it could be 30 days depending upon case to case. So, and if you're not able to do it, your application is likely to get rejected. So just be alarmed. This is a caveat attached to it. Right, so this is an ADR for PCC, August 16th. And then there was an ADR, as I said, that IMM 5669 form, IMM 5406, and then there was a degree requirement on September 16th. Now, this candidate actually called up IRCC and he got to know that it's like the customer support at IRCC has informed him that they are processing the applications for Whitehorse right now. So that's the visa office. So yeah, this could be little update over here. This is another timeline for Stream B, English stream. So the candidate has applied on May 29th. He was able to receive the open work permit on November 17th. So he applied, and work permit, the existing one was getting expired on December 9th. So yeah, and then received the AOR on November 23rd, and then received the BIL request for his dependents on November 25th. Now, if you see here that he was able to link up the application, his account on November 26th, where medical were passed that you usually see under your portal, and I have shared the screenshot how exactly it looked like. And then there was an ADR for passports for dependents that's outland, like the one who might be in India or native country. And then of course there was an ADR for the medical proof also. So these are the basic requirements visa officer would ask you, especially if you have a dependent. There's one more thing, they may ask you to prove your relationship, like the marriage certificate or the chat history, in case if the marriage is pretty new and you might have solemnized maybe like last 6 months time period. So yeah, just be ready with those set of documents as well. Okay, this is another timeline for May 6 at 12:56 p.m. AOR was received September 13th, and ADR was for medicals and MM 5669 form again. That was on November 5th. Medicals were passed. That was November 6th, and then there was an acknowledgement from IRCC that documents were received. That was on November 15th only. Now, there were a couple of ghost updates actually, and the closer one was on November 24th. And if you see here that there was a portal email that was on November 29th. Moving on to another timeline. This is an interesting one at 4 p.m. That's on May 8th. So May 8th, 4 p.m. and I'm talking about Eastern time zone. This candidate was able to link up the application on November 25th, and medicals were passed on November 25th itself. Then this candidate must have traveled to Mexico for more than 6 months, like he must have stayed there for more than 6 months. And that's the reason visa officer has asked for the Mexican PCC on November 26th. Now, in this case, again, no AOR was received, and he was able to link up his application with passport and UCI number on his third attempt. Now, linking up your application is one of an important task. One has to do it. If you're able to link up the application, you will be able to get all the updates under your portal, and it becomes very easy for you to get the information or the required document list under your portal. However, if you're not able to do it, you just have to wait for the IRCC to upload your documents on GCMS thing. So GCMS is basically Global Case Management System. Unless and until your documents has not been uploaded by centralized management on GCMS, you will not be able to link up your application. Now the process, how exactly it works, I have already explained in my video. So the link is in the description box below. I will provide you one more time. There's one more thing I wanted to let you know, in case if you're still skeptic about a lot many things like how the documentation work and things like that, I'll just cover it here. Now, I would recommend you to please go on cic.gc.ca website page, and I'll provide the link one more time, although this has to be there. So just give you detail. This is exactly temporary public policy. It's the same form, I've talked a lot during my initial videos while I was, posting for TR to PR pathway. You go under the streams, these workers in Canada, stream A, stream B, and, international graduate. When you scroll it down, you should be able to get all the information, like what kind of documents are required. And if you see here, they also made it clear that you need to have all these documents when you are submitting for uh, your application under current employment. It's just for the peace of mind so that you don't have to go here and there. Information is all available there onto the website only. And I've covered step by step also. So you can just go through it. Like for example, a lot of you had a confusion that what if we have submitted the description letter or an explanation letter or a reference letter from my current employer, and I'm still skeptic. Do I need to submit the pay stub? So if you see here, they have clearly mentioned that you must also include copies of your T4, tax information slips, and your notice of assessment. Or, they're not asking that you have to submit the copies of T4 form, work contracts, pay stubs. So they have given you an option that you have to provide the NOA, and the copy of your T4 form, and or if you can provide the pay stubs or the work permits. Same goes for the international graduates. So it's clearly mentioned like you must submit final transcript, letter from the institution, type of credentials like the course or certification. Whatsoever you have done for more than 8 months, you have to submit that document. Along with that, they have provided you the complete description, like it has to be translated. And then, in case if you are submitting the original copy with the translated one, it has to have with the affidavit also. And then again, they have provided with the full steps like which all forms you have to submit, and PCC photos. Now a lot of you will have the confusion, what kind of documents have to be submitted for the children. So they have birth certificate, and do we need to do the medical? So they have clearly mentioned that if you've already completed an AMI as a part of your previous application, you may not need to do it. So you don't need to do it again. Just give you here. Yeah, you may not need to complete. So this is how it actually works. And so this is the information here about the police clearance certificate. Also, if you or your family members, whosoever are more than like or 18 or 18 years older, and you've stayed for more than 6 months or more in a row in last 10 years, you need to have the police clearance certificate, uh, and that has to be submitted. There are countries where they have some restrictions and all their inhibitions. So in that case, you definitely can follow the rule, and it's just have to approach that country for say from China or from Hong Kong. You have to get the letter and then submit it whatsoever you have, so that you can satisfy the visa officer that you're trying and making an attempt to get the PCC from there. Also, there have been a couple of queries recently that the photo is getting scanned, and then it's visa officer are rechecking because it's not as per the specification. My recommendation, please consult properly to a office whosoever is has got an expertise in clicking the photo as per the immigration format. So don't try to do it by yourself. Just try to follow the instructions and do it from a authorized consultancy or maybe like the photographer. So these are all clearly mentioned out there. So I will provide the link in the description box below. Now, if you have any confusion, you can always write back to me. Till then, guys, this is all for today. I'll be back with another video very soon. So take care and stay safe. Bye.